Okay, let's get started today. For our lesson, you need your math notebook, your whiteboard marker, and your pencil. So let's review. 3-digit by 1-digit, division using the standard algorithm. Go ahead and pause the video and solve. Okay, you should have gotten 64 as your quotient. You will find the quotient using the standard algorithm. Okay, so let's look at 70 divided by 30. How many times can 30 go into 70? Can we make groups of 30 from 7? No, we can't. So we have to move on to the next digit. Can we make groups of 30 from 70? Yes. So how many times can 30 go into 70? Let's make a list to use for guess and check. So 30 times 1 is 30. We can keep going. 30 times 2 is 60. Let's try one more. 30 times 3 is 90. Can we stop here? Yeah, because 90 is bigger than 70. So what number do we use? 2 or 3? We need to use 2 because 3 goes over. It's bigger than, the answer is bigger than 70. So we need to use 2. Now we're going to do 2 times 30, which gives us 60. And then we're going to subtract. And now we have 10. 2 times 30 is 60. Subtracting, we have 10. Now, can 30 go into 10? Can we make any more groups of 30 out of that 10? No, so that's what we call a remainder. So now we have 2 remainder 10. Another way we can write this, and you might be familiar with this when we turn improper fractions into mixed numbers, but your remainder is actually your numerator, and your divisor is your denominator. So we can write it as 2 and 10/30ths. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, let's check our work. So how do we check our work when we have a remainder? So we're going to do 30 times 2, and we get 60. And then if we add our remainder in, we should get 70, and we do. So we got it right. Okay, this one is on our notes. So let's do 572 divided by 90. So what we're looking at is, can we make groups of 90 from 5? We're looking at the first digit first. No, we cannot. So we are going to look at, can we make groups of 90 from 57? No. So we are going to move over to the next digit. Can we make groups of 90 from 572? Yes, we can, because 90 can't go into 5, it can't go into 57, but it can go into 572. So let's make a list to guess and check. 90 times 1 is 90, times 2, 180, times 3, 270, times 4, 360, times 5, 450, times 6, 540, times 7, 630. Can we stop here? Yeah, because 630 is bigger than 572. So we will stop there. Could we have used estimation to make this faster? Yeah. We could use estimation to make this faster because it will give us a starting point. It'll let us know which numbers we could use to start with our guess and check, so we don't have to list all of these numbers every time. So let's see. Should we use 6 or 7? Well, 7's too big. 630 is greater than 572, so we wouldn't be able to subtract that. So that doesn't work. We can't make groups, 7 groups. We don't have enough, right? So 6. We can make 6 full groups with some remainder. Okay, so should our quotient be 6 or 7? Well, we can't do 7 because we can't make 7 full groups because 630 is bigger than 572. So we can't do that. So we can make 6 full groups with a remainder. So we're going to do 6. So 90 times 6, we already did the work over here, is 540. So now we're going to subtract 572 minus 540, and we end up with 32. Now, can we make any more groups of 90 out of 32? No, we cannot. So 32 is our remainder. Well, another way we can write this is 6 and 32 90ths. Because our remainder would be our numerator and our divisor is our denominator. Okay, so let's check our work. And remember, if we have a remainder, we add that in later. So we do 90 times 6. So let's use the pen. 90 times 6, okay? And we get 540, and then we're going to add in our remainder. And when we add in our remainder, we get 572. So go ahead and try to solve this one on your whiteboard. Pause the video, and when you are ready, press play again. Okay, you should have gotten 8 remainder 3, or, that's weird, this says 6. Okay, you should have gotten 8 remainder 3, or 8 and 3/80. Let's fix that right now. Okay, that should say 8. Okay, 8 remainder 3 or 8 and 3/80. All right, this next one is on our notes. Find the quotient. 94 divided by 43. So can we make groups of 43 from 9? Nope, so we got to move to the next digit. So we're going to put a 0 there to hold our place as a placeholder. Okay, let's begin this time with estimation, so we don't have to list all of our numbers starting at 1, so we can get a closer idea. So let's start with our divisor here. Let's start with that. What can we round that to make it a friendly number? We're going to make it 40, okay? Then we're going to choose a number that 40 can go into evenly, okay? So that's why we picked 80. Okay, normally when you're rounding to the nearest 10, it would be 90, but 4 doesn't go into 9 evenly, so we're going to do 80. So when you're estimating with division, it's a little different. You're going to pick numbers that are friendly to work with that divide evenly. So 80 divided by 40 equals 2. Okay, so our answer should be somewhat close. How does this help us when we make our guess and checklist? If 80 divided by 40 is 2, it gives us a place to start. So we know we can start with multiplying 43 by 2. Because our estimation says 2, we can start at 2. What is 43 times 2? It is 86. Let's see if we can go one more time. Let's just check. So let's do times 3. 129, that's too much. We won't have enough to make 3 full groups, right? So 43 times 2 is 86, so we're going to go with 2. That's the most we can do without going over. So 2 times 43 is 86, and we're going to subtract, and we regroup, and we end up with 8. Okay, so we have 8 left over. So we have 2 remainder 8, or another way to write that would be 2 and 8/43. Okay, make sure you have this all in your notes. Let's check our work. We're going to do 43 times 2 and then add in our remainder. 43 times 2 is 86. Add our remainder of 8 and we get 94. Okay, so let's go ahead and try it on our whiteboards. Go ahead and pause the video, and when you're ready, hit play. All right, you should have gotten 3 remainder 9 or 3 and 9 21st. Okay, the next one is on your notes. So let's make sure we're ready. 712 divided by 94. Can we make groups of 94 from 7? Nope. So let's move on to the next digit. Can we make groups of 94 from 71? Nope. So let's put another 0 and move on to the next digit. Now we definitely can make groups of 94 from 712, right? So let's estimate so we don't have to start at 94 times 1. Let's estimate here. So we're going to change our divisor first, and we're going to make it 90. Okay, and then let's choose a number that 9 can go into. So that's why we changed 712 into 720, because we're really thinking about, after we're changing our divisor, we're thinking about something that can divide evenly for our estimation. So 720 divided by 90 is 8. So let's start at 8. 94 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. Okay, 8 times 9. And we end up with 75 when we add in the 3, so 752. Now, is that bigger than 712? Yeah, so it's too high. So we need to try 7. So now we're going to do 94 times 7. So 4 times 7 and 7 times 9. We end up with 658. Okay, so that works, right? So we're going to go ahead and use 7. So 7 times 94, we already did the work, so we're going to put 658 here. Okay, so we have 658. So now we're going to subtract 712 minus 658, and we end up with 54. Can we make any more groups out of 54, of 94? No, we cannot. So our remainder is 54. So it's 7 remainder 54. So what this is really saying is 7 groups of 94 with 54 left over. Okay, so 7 remainder 54, or we can write it as 7 and 54 94ths. Okay? So let's check our work. 94 times 7, and then we're going to add in, remember, 94 times 7 at the end, we're going to add in our remainder. So 94 times 7 is 658. We add our remainder of 54, and we should get 712, and we do. All right, go ahead and pause the video and solve this. And when you're ready, press play. Okay, you should have gotten 5 remainder 21 as your quotient. Okay, if you estimated, you would know to start at 5. So you end up with 5 remainder 21, or 5 and 21 over 47. If you check your work, 47 times 5, 235, plus your remainder of 21, you end up with 256. Okay, so as a closure, what is different about using the standard algorithm and using partial products? And number 2, find the quotient of 369 divided by 46. Go ahead and pause the video and solve. Okay, you should have gotten 8 remainder 1, or 8 and 1 over 46.